Hi, I'm Philip Byer. Thanks for stopping by. A question for business owners out there. Has a key employee suddenly and without warning quit or simply walked out your door, leaving that sick feeling in your stomach because they had important knowledge of key business processes that others in your company had no clue as to how those processes worked? Trust me, we've heard some sad stories about this over the past few decades. A number of years ago, an owner of a printing company I'll call Bob contacted me after reading our book. Bob asked if he could meet right away, even the next day if possible. He sounded desperate. Of course, I said yes, opened up my schedule, and picked him and his wife up at the airport. Yes, the very next day. Now, after getting back to the office, I gave them a tour of our facility and then sat down for our meeting. He told me about a manager he had hired who had been with him for years. In fact, this manager was so good at running Bob's entire business, Bob didn't need to be there much. Then, with a worried look, almost tears, Bob said, "Due to family issues, this manager quit without hardly any notice and walked out the door." Bob went on to reveal that now he didn't fully understand how his business operated, since he had been an absentee owner. I guess enjoying his freedom. But now the chickens had come home to roost and he was in trouble. You see, after Bob's manager quit and reading our book, Bob realized he had no written documentation for how his business functioned, and now was asking us how long it would take to help get his company systemized, from front to back, from opening until closing. Our answer, as always, depends on the owner's commitment. However, owners don't need to start from scratch because of our tools and templates shorten that time by years. Nevertheless, Bob's procrastination cost him big time. He realized he should have used some of that free time to document step by step all the processes for how his business operated. But reality is, like Bob, many small business owners make the same mistake. Maybe not to the same degree as Bob. Nevertheless, they must realize that a trained, experienced employee with in-depth knowledge of operational processes is part of the actual system that runs the business. And if the procedures for how processes work are not contained in an up-to-date written format, the business will fall victim to those systems walking out the door when the employees walk out the door. Now, make no mistake, this is not the fault of the employees. It's the owner's fault. Sadly, many small businesses have suffered the consequences of employees leaving without notice. And when that happens, the owner or others in the company must stop what they're doing to train someone new, using their usual seat-of-the-pants method of training. In other words, a verbal training system. In other words, no written operating procedures, no new hire orientation system, no quality control system, and no employee daily routine system. In other words, just throw the newly hired employee in the water hoping they can swim and praying they'll stick around a while. For this reason, now we've spent years encouraging, coaxing, and persuading companies to build a comprehensive operations manual, all to avoid people walking out the door with exclusive process knowledge for how a business operates, where the owner is then left with no documentation of that knowledge. Another sad truth of no documentation is there are employees who contain sensitive, exclusive, and critical knowledge whereby owners become fearful of them leaving and are intimidated to confront these sacred cow employees even when the employee needs confronting. In conclusion, as with most small businesses, much of the knowledge for how the company operates is locked in the owner's head, and that can be years of knowledge. Now it's time to get it out. Now we can help. Oh, did I mention great systems work? They really do.
a mellow